Everybody. I'm Mr. Drew here to welcome you to another episode of the Andrew Glowczewski Experience. This is episode 89. Wow, we getting up there, man. On this one, I've been working on that map for, the last couple of days straight, and I started it maybe a week ago or something like that. I want to take a break from that for a second. I know I've been working on a bunch of stuff, but I got to focus on my environments, and I also need to focus on my website and keep that building up. And I have these environments that I worked on. Can't recall if I worked on these in on stream or not, but I did this one back in February 15th of this year, so nearly a month and a half ago. And yeah, they're still not up on my website, which is terrible. So what I wanted to do was to do what I would normally do with these things, and edit them so that way I could upload them on my website. The way that they appear on my website is kind of like on a board like this. Now this is an Illustrator where I kind of throw the edits around. Like I have the map. I have a large version of the map, but I shrunk it down, and that way I could point out the locations. This is already one that I've edited, and I just do minor editing. I'm not doing much, and that's what I'm here to show you today. This was the traditional piece, but then I go in there and I just touch it up just a bit and fix it up just a bit. Um, and I had a bunch of things sitting here on the other side. This is the original with a bunch of sketches that I had for spaceship concepts. So this is all concept design, portfolio stuff that I'm working on. I'm looking for work. I'm trying to get jobs as an illustrator. So, I mainly focus on characters. I could do any and all characters. But in order to do sequential illustration and storyboards and comic books and things like that, you got to be good with environments and props. You got to kind of draw everything. Um, so that's kind of what I'm doing here, and this is all also serving as concept design for my IP that I've been working on. So what I wanted to do was just show you how I do the touch up. Maybe I can show you the original. I wonder if I could drag that in. I wonder if I drag in the original, if it'll be too much. Yeah, that's huge. See, these images are low resolution, but at a very large scale. And usually what I end up doing is shrinking them, but increasing the resolution. Now this is the raw photograph, and as you can see, it's pretty cool, pretty dope. It was good enough for me, but I didn't drop in like the sky background, so you didn't really see the horizon line or anything like that in there. Um, and then I just touch it up, bring the colors up, bring the contrast up. Touch it up like anybody does if you're working with filters in Instagram or something like that. Basically, you kind of want to sexy it up a bit, and that's what I did here. So you can see the original and where it ended up being, and even getting rid of the border and everything like that. So, um, so these are those rough versions that I have, and I have a bunch of them here. If I pull up the tiling, it'll tile all of it. And there we go. So just to give you a quick look at these. All these environments that I worked on, and again, can't recall which ones I worked on stream. I know some of them I did, but some of them I didn't in the beginning. Like this one I was super scared about. This one I was super scared about. Because I was just starting, man. I had no idea what I was doing, and I wasn't confident enough in myself. And I have enough confidence to know that that I'm terrible at this, but I'm not ashamed of it at the very least. And that's and that's what it all is. So consolidate the tabs, go to the beginning. Oh wait, there we go. So yeah, first things first, I always say get the size right. Get your size right. This is already a square image, 42 by 42 at 72 dpi. First thing I want to do, high res that, but also I'm gonna drop it to 9 by 9, which is still pretty big. I'm constantly talking about how my laptop really can't handle too much, and this is kind of borderline a little too big to really work with comfortably. Um, and you see it really didn't shrink it too much. The resolution really popped, but the size of the image shrank. Uh, so yeah, this is zoomed in at 50% scale. What I'm gonna want to do is, since I have my square marker and I have a square border, I want to get my corners into the corner so that way I know that my picture is flat, or at least as flat as can be. So I select all and use the transform tool. And then I just pull those corners all the way to the edge. And this is how I create flat scans. You know, there's apps and all this other stuff that do these things for you, and I'm always working on the fly. Um, so I do what I need to do when I need to do it. And yeah, let's see. So now I have my flat scan of the image, and I always keep an original layer, and I don't start working on it until the next one. And normally what I like to do is start off with levels, and then just, you know, it gives you this curve. You know, you have these sliders, your black and your shade and tint sliders, and I like to slide them, you know, not too far in, so that way I'm not doing too much. And then I always just like to keep it to rounded to a value of 5. That way I keep my numbers kind of clean. I'm not just loosey-goosey with it all. You know, I could slide this all the way over and get something gnarly, but I still want to maintain the work that I have done. And, you know, if I want to go in and play with the levels some more, I'll do that. Um, you know, if I want to play with the middle tones a bit as well. The middle tones, I'll like the round to a 25. So I'll do it 75, 50, 25, or 0. Well, obviously number 0, but either 75, 50, or 25, depending on the image, of course. So I'll do this one at a 0.75, and you could just check the preview, and you can see immediately it really gives the image a little bit of pop. So I do that, and then I also like to play with the hues, and I'll create a new layer. I'm always creating new layers for these things. Um, and it's just the way that I like to work, just in case I make a mistake, or if I feel like I got a little too froggy with it. Okay. Yeah. There we go. I like this. This works for me. And again, you can see it just really makes the colors pop. So now after I do the levels and the hues, I'll take a third layer, and then I'll just call it touch up. And this is where, and you know, immediately you can see this is the original image. And this is just with playing with levels and hues, how much this has already kind of brought this stuff to life. So yeah, on the touch up, I like to play with a couple things. It's the burn tool, the dodge tool, the sharpen tool, and the blur tool. So depending on whatever it is that I want to do, I'll do it. And yeah, and I remember when I was working on these, when I did the white paint markers at the end, they yeah, maybe I might want to burn the edges a bit just so I can kind of identify the edges a little bit better. But yeah, because this was a snow uh, stage, I wonder if I want to bring this up to 100 strength. That way I could just do a single pass and save myself. There we go. So just try to bring the outline of this out a little bit. This looks really bad. But again, I was just starting out with these, and you know, this is where I was at in the beginning. The burn tool also helps to accentuate the shadows. I have the burn tool set to shadows as far as like range goes, so it's gonna pick up the darkest pixels and darken them up some more, and then the lighter pixels, like all this white snow, for instance, isn't going to it's not going to darken those. So it doesn't like scorch the entire image. I'm just darkening the darks. It's kind of like what I did with the levels when I was playing with the levels. Same thing, except I get to control this with a brush. That's all. So you know, I like to run this over the main outlines of things and main shadows, and it really brings out the lights and things. Really brings out the lights and things. Does that even make sense? What am I talking about? And immediately, even this minor change is from the previous step, just so you can see what I'm doing and the overall change from the very beginning. So this touch-up layer is where I kind of get a lot of the work in. Um, Let me see. Blur tool. Now I wonder if I want to use a blur tool for this or if I just kind of want to select the background, because I kind of have this forest background. There we go. There we go. So I'll just kind of select this background area with the lasso tool. And it's kind of a loose selection. You know, it doesn't have to be right up on that building. And then I like to feather the edge. And, you know, this is at 300 DPI, so this 25, it might be good enough. So yeah, let me just keep it at 25 for now, but it might not be good enough. We'll see, depending on how much I need to blur it and what the effect looks like at that fade, at that feathered edge. Blur, Gaussian blur. And yeah, that's set at 20. That's really high. I don't need it all that strong. But kind of want to blur out the background a bit. And yeah, I'll just set it to 10. And let's see if I have my burn tool, if the burning will help at all to darken. I may just want to use a dark color from back here and pull my brush tool out. Set it to a multiply. And yeah, that'll... Yeah, so it really brings out the feathered edge in here, but now I can kind of go in there and I wonder, is there... Smudge tool. I haven't used a smudge tool, but just to kind of play with this edge a bit, kind of make it less sharp, and give it a little bit of texture, because what it really is snow built up. So just kind of make it look like there's snow built up on that edge, and so it doesn't look like a, you know, like a flat, uh, like if you're looking over here, it just looks like a flat blur edge. Yikes. There we go. And I could use this. Maybe turn the strength down. There we go. There we go. I wonder if I want to do that at all. Probably not. Go back to my smudge tool. And just push these soft edges that are supposed to just look like snow and look like just snow that's getting caught up. See, I got a bunch of these horizontal lines, and I'm just gonna cross hatch against them. Oops. And now it just looks like a soft coat of snow. And let me go back. And cover this area. There we go. And again, I'm not trying to like redraw this whole thing. I kind of just want to give it a little more pop. And that's exactly what I think I'm doing just by bringing up, working on the edges here. You know, darkening these areas. And yeah, let's try to get a little bit Sharpen this up just a bit. So I'm using the brush tool right now. I'll probably go in and use the smudge tool just a bit, there we go. And same thing down here, just get a little bit of that. And same thing on this side, just get a little bit of that background in there. So that way we can see the horizon line is there. And now I can go ahead and grab this again. You know, if you save a selection, you wouldn't have to re-grab or reselect, but whatever. Again, I try to do these quickly. Like, I've already spent hours on these things when I drew them initially. So now the goal now is to 25. I'll do a 50 fade this time, and now just bring the dark out. So that way, the forest, I could really bring out the forest and the trees back there, and I could turn the middle tones up. So yeah, I'll do 1.5 and drive this to 85, and just double check it. All I wanted to do was bring these trees out that were like blurred and faded in the background just a bit more. Alright, what else? I mean, when I added all the white marker for the snow, it really lightened all this stuff up. So really, a lot of these things are going to be about making them darker. And I've since then decided, like, oh, you know what? After I do the white marker, I'm not done. I'm going to have to, like, use the white marker and then maybe even have to go over the white marker with a little bit more work. And that's just a recent revelation that I've hit. Um, you know, I started using white markers years ago, but the ones that I was using were no good. So I'd use them sparingly. And then watching Junji live streams, I saw what white marker he was using, and it was so sharp. Same thing with David Finch. Both Junji and David Finch used the same white marker, and I was like, oh shit. So just recently, like this year, I went out and I bought those that white marker that they use. It's so good. It's perfect. It's this Posca brand. Now this one is the and it's a Japanese or Chinese brand. Funny, it's called Mitsubishi Pencil Company. Mitsubishi. But yeah, Posca. This is their really fine point. But yeah, I got all of them. I kind of bought the pack that has the really thick point, the slightly thinner point, and I think that's like 4 sizes. One's like really, really thick, and then the other one is like not so thick. Okay, where are we at with the there we go. And now just kind of shading in some of these areas. And all this is just to accentuate what's already there. Like, I was happy with the work when I did it traditionally, at least at the time, for for what it was. So now it's just like, okay, let's avoid spending all day every day with this anymore. I kind of want to, you always got to move on. You got to finish your projects and move on. So this is just touching it up. There we go. Get this, get that. And we should be good. Where else do we need some? Now I'm just shading it. Just throwing in some additional shades. Just in. What's up, viewer? How you doing? Hope you're enjoying this. If you're a return viewer, then you know this is one of those exciting episodes where I work on the digital aspect of everything. Like I said, I stay away from doing this too much because my computer really can't handle all that. Um, you know, one day I'll be one of those streamers with super duper hardware. But at the moment, kind of just gotta stick with the traditional and then just use digital to kind of improve upon the traditional stuff. Let's see. All right. So yeah, just so we could see, that's where we started. This is the original photograph, and this is where we're at. And this is what I mean. You know, I don't know how long that just took me, but it wasn't that much time at all. I'm happy with this. It's at the size that I want it, 9 by 9 at 300 dpi. So what I'm gonna do now is save this Photoshop file. And also, once that's done saving, also save the JPEG. And I think I'm just gonna do all the touch-up right now. And then once I'm done with the touch-up, I'll drag them over and then drop them into this template for my online portfolio. gmrdrew.art. Am I able to type stuff in here? I guess not. I guess I have to open up whatchamacallit, my dashboard or my stream manager. There we go. Now I can type it in. So TTP. Oh, this is super annoying. So colon // G Mr. Drew .art. And something I probably should be doing more often is adding, you know, typing my website and stuff anytime I bring it up, at least into the chat, so that way people are aware. You know, I don't know how many people are actually aware that I have a website and that, you know, I'm a freelance illustrator and I'm open for work, man. Always open for work. Well, at least at the moment. I'm just not so busy and caught up that I can't work on anything at the moment. So yeah. But yeah, on there, if you go to my website, there's one of the pages is for production design or concept art. and you could see that this template that I'm using across the board for all of the there we go. See, now I'm doing too much. No. There we go. Okay. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. Again, save this as okay. And I'll close it out. Oh, I need to plug in my. I'm running out of battery here. There we go. Work on this one next. This is another one of my early ones. Super proud of it. And what I'm gonna do is I have this map here, and I don't think I need this one anymore. But yeah, this map, I could scale it up, but might as well just zoom in on it. So you can see I have all these like little locations on the map, and what I'm doing is I'm using this little pinpoint, this location point to say like, hey, this is where we're at on the map, and this is like a zoomed in illustration. So like this little red saucer looking thing is the red saucers at the top of these things. So it's like, and that's what I'm going to be doing with the other map that I'm working on as well. The one that I'm currently working on. Again, 9x9 at 300. Oh, that looked terrible. Hold on. Image size 9x9, 300. There we go. And first things first, pull the corners all the way to the edge. So it's a flat scan. There we go. Okay. Deselect. Save this as the original layer. And yeah, man, we just go through the motions. This is the same thing. This is kind of why I don't like to show these things. It's not like I'm trying to keep secrets or anything like that. It's just like, I don't know how exciting all this stuff is. You know? I don't know how much people, like, see me do this and they're just like, wow. Like, I think people are more into just seeing the art and not so much the work behind it. But if you are, let me know. And anybody can message me at any time and be like, yo, like keep that shit. Like do that shit. Do it more. and then I'll do that. And I'd be happy to because oh man. I gotta drink some water, man. I've been dry throating it all day just because oh sorry, let me not shake the camera. Just because I did a whole stream this morning for like 2 hours or 2.5 hours or something like that. And it wasn't until after I finished the stream that I noticed that my water bottle was still my canteen, whatever you want to call it, was still on my bed, meaning I hadn't drank water that entire morning since I got out of bed. So I did that entire stream just dry mouthing it. uh, so yeah, that's try not to do that if you can. There we go. So just simple levels and playing with the levels and the saturation, and it gets me this. Um, and then I just go to my touch-up layer, and then that's where I actually start doing work. Same as last time. Let's just keep doing it, right? So, interesting. Let me grab this background. Same as last time. Kind of a loose grab. And I gotta be careful with this because this is a gondola lift, believe it or not. Like I was showing on the map earlier, this is on the edge where, and you'll see I have these two lines here, and these are the gondola lines that the gondolas run off of. So they kind of shoot, that way towards the mountains. I have an image in here that's the other end of the gondola where, where they receive them. Here we go. It's on this picture. So you have the gondola lines here, and here's one of the gondolas. It looks like a, when I was looking up gondolas, it was like, oh, that's what they call those things in Italy too. Like where, you get that guy who sings and rows the boat for you with that big old pole. uh, all that romanticism. Oh, let's focus here. There we go. Oh, I lost my selection on this side. Come on. There we go. So I wonder if I want to cut these out at all, or if I just want to brush them in later. I'll cut them out a little bit, because I'm sure after I feather the edge and do whatever I'm doing, I'll have to brush it anyways. Oh yeah, let me get down here as well. Now I gotta be careful down here because I got these icicles. Icicles. Hey, what are you doing? And this is another reason why I don't do the digital so much. I think I have like a problem with my Wacom tablet, and and the modifier keys. I think my tablet and my modifier keys are. Sorry, I got distracted. I'm watching David Finch review people's comic book portfolios, and a kid just popped up on screen, like a young kid. I was like, oh crap. Like, this is my competition, and this kid's probably gonna be a monster. I'm afraid to see what his work looks like, because if it looks better than mine, I'm gonna cry. Alright, so I fade the edges and then select the darkest blue color back here. And then just kind of throw a dark color uh, in there. I wish I had that kind of support when I was a kid. Probably be much better and much more in a position that I can work in. So yeah, just darken the background a little bit. Holy cow, what's going on? Whoa. Okay, people messaging me. I hope they got work for me. Uh, sorry, gotta talk to people sometimes. I guess you know. You don't want to be ignorant. And like I was just saying, looking for work. I'm always looking for work. So you never wanna. There we go. All right. Let's get back to it, man. I apologize for that. What was I doing? Let me see. On this touch-up layer, I use the burn and dodge tool for the most part. But because of the white marker, I don't know if I'm gonna need the dodge tool as much. You know, these pictures are because of the whole snowy element. Um, it's pretty it's pretty light. I don't know if that's an excuse for things to be light, but um, you know, I pretty much uh, blasted it with the white paint markers and things like that. You know, I was having so much fun with the that Posca markers. You know what I mean? To see them work this well, I probably just got a little happy with it. There we go. Oh my God. Come on, kid, you can't be drawn like that. This kid just drew a picture of Magneto, which is one of Jim Lee's iconic Magneto drawings. Like, if I say Jim Lee and Magneto, you kind of know what picture I'm talking about. And this is like a little elementary school kid, and he just drew this. You know, he's having David Finch look over his picture. God damn it. Oh my god. I need to step my game up. Uh, there we go. Come on. So yeah, my modifier keys and Photoshop tends to like freeze up sometimes. Uh, and I think it might be like a Wacom uh, a thing going on with my Wacom. There we go. Yeah, the kid's getting like cross hatching and line work. There we go. Okay. So that's enough of that. I'll use the dodge tool a bit, why not? I'm sure there's like some areas I can kind of hit with it. So yeah, just like my burn tool is set the uh, to the shadows, my dodge tool is set to the highlights. So it's gonna select all the lighter pixels and make them lighter. So all this white is just gonna get whiter, and then anything that's like off white is gonna get whiter. So you kind of want to use it, sparingly. But there's certainly some parts that I kind of want to build the snow up on, even though it's in the shade. Especially things like these icicles that kind of got caught up in the sky when I was working on the sky. Like that'll be the perfect time to kind of go in and go over these icicles and try to restore them just a bit. They're so off to the side and off to the way edges that it's like, don't need to, no need to focus on it too hard. But yeah, any snow that should probably be popping. Definitely do that there. Like this snow that got caught up in the shadow that I was painting in. Just like this snow as well. Oh wow, I know he has a picture of Wolverine up. Damn, dude. I didn't even when I was that kid's age, I was drawing like Looney Tunes and shit. Like I didn't even have comic books in my life. I had no idea about that art style and things like that. All right, let's pull out this smudge tool and let me start addressing all this that's at the top here. See. See what I mean? But my computer can't really handle too much. Like, what I like about this kid is that he's not shying away from shading faces. You know, when I was like drawing, I was going through that Dragon Ball Z phase that every artist goes through. I was afraid to shade faces. I remember having days where I was like trying to figure out how to shade a face. You know, like that was super scary to me. Yikes, that's a bit dark. There we go. Let me get a lighter blue from this area. Okay. And brush up this edge. There we go. Same thing on this side. Grab this blue and just sharpen up these edges. So that way you kind of eliminate that fade that I created earlier. And grab like this blue. Okay. Oh my god, come on. There we go. And that's what I mean. Even things like trying to control the brush size and things like that, like it becomes difficult for me. Because the keys just lock up. It's like when I did my research, the best thing I could find was like sticky keys. But this isn't a PC. I work on a Mac, and sticky keys, I guess technically is more of a PC issue, not a Mac issue. But I'm running into the same problems that were kind of like listed there. There we go. Now watch, I can do this as well. Um, since I'm getting like brush happy in this corner, select color range and select that area. Oh, you know what? Cancel. Feather that edge by like 100 pixels. As a matter of fact, feather it feather it by the full 250. That's fine. Select color range. Hit it with that. Select all of that. And now I can kind of control this blue because it might be getting a little too dark. So I can kind of dial it back, bring the saturation up, make it a little more blue so it matches the sky kind of down there. And, in case it's slightly off. Um, and you can just see the change that I'm making right there. So don't get too scared about like getting crazy with stuff. Um, and yeah, you can see this is where we began, and it's like night and day. It's the same image. I barely did any work. All I did was darken the background. Really, ran a few like levels and stuff and brought out the colors, but I didn't like do all the work comparatively. Oh snap! Finch has another child that he's about to review. Oh no, this is making me nervous. Seeing these kids with their bomb ass bomb ass portfolios. So scary. All right. So do this line and do this line, and those will be the whatchamacallit, the gondola lift line art. Now, is there anything else that I really want to do? Maybe put the drop shadow here. Yikes. Set it to multiply. There we go. Ah, okay. He's drawn a little bit more like how I would expect a kid to do, but he's even further along than I was at his age because he's including backgrounds in his picture. I was just straight up drawing characters and leaving the backgrounds blank. Alright. I'm cool with this one. So I'll call it, save that. And save the JPEG. Okay. We'll close that out. And where else? Yeah, why not work on these? These are kind of the first ones I was working on. You can see I wasn't even using inks or markers back then. I was straight up just doing pencils. So these are actually kind of really not all that great. But I kind of wanted to, again, just move forward. Get it done, move forward. So these, I'm probably going to include them side by side on a single image. Crap. What's happening here? So I'll probably have like two of them side by side because of the quality that I'm gonna have them at. So I'm gonna make these 6x6 instead of 9x9, but still keep them at 300. And same process. Select all, transform, and pull the edges, pull the corners to the edges. So yeah, that's impressive, man, that kid included the background in his drawing. You know, that's a lot more work than I was willing to do when I was a kid. Now, is there? Ah, okay. It's poking out. I was like, why is the roof missing? But yeah, it's poking out above. Crap. Do I care about that? I kind of do. Okay. Here, I'm gonna do this. Take out the background, and now I'm gonna do canvas size from the bottom, height, make it 6.25. That way I give a little clearance. And I hope that's enough. I hope that 2.5 is enough. I'll put my guide here. So that way I know that that's the top. And now I could drive my corners there, there. Okay, I got enough of the roof where it's still gonna cut off, but I can make it work. I'm gonna work with you, baby. Alright, this is like the flat scan version. And now, oh yeah, let me undo that. I don't like how high this is. There we go. bring it down some. Don't bring it down too much. Hit it. There we go. Now I could take this and pulled up the grid on accident. I can get rid of this now because I don't need it anymore. You have served your purpose. And crap. See what I mean? Like my modifier keys don't. There we go. So I'll cut this part out. Zoom out. Delete. Come on. Delete. And now I got rid of the background there. We still focused? Yeah, we're good. Alright. And this is still my OG layer. Turn it. Play with the levels. Oh wow. Here we go. Okay, I'll live with that. And then, oh wow, now this kid has a picture of Wolverine in a berserker rage. Blood everywhere. I mean, it's a good blood splatter effect. That's cool. And again, man, this is his third picture. He took up the whole background. It's impressive. You know? So if you're just drawing characters, no background, there's 5-year-olds out, 8-year-olds, however old this kid is, you know, filling up the page. Level, hue, bring out the hues. Okay. And yeah, just so you can see, this is where we started, and this is where we're at with just simple hue and saturation, or saturation and levels, playing with that. Now these are super rough, so I don't know how much work I'm going to be able to do because they kind of need a lot of work. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I gotta find like the darkest blue out here. There we go. And kinda highlight this and just give it a little bump, you know? And this is, well, if the shadows are going that way, that means alright. Now he's done reviewing kids. Back to grown men, thank God. let me delete this a bit. I wasn't paying attention to the shadows. Drag that up to 100. Why am I playing these games? Why am I playing these games? Don't play no games. There we go. Now, I wonder if I want to cut out the background completely. That might be the move. Let me look at these. Here's one, there's two, and there's three. Yeah, I might want to just cut out the backgrounds from these things. And there I wasted all that time cutting out the background from there. Make sure I'm working right. Okay. Damn, do I want to do that? Or I could just add the color background to it. Let me okay. I'm just gonna focus on oh wow, some decent pictures. You know, I noticed with these artists that he's reviewing, they're giving these superheroes a little bit of pudge above their waist belts. Like one of them had like a little bit of pudge on Batman, and now this guy has like a little bit of pudge on Superman. It's like, oh man, come on guys, we're making we're making specimens. We're making human specimens. Like you can't have Superman looking like Clark Kent. Is all I'm saying. There we go. There we go. Let me just get the base selection down first, and then I can kind of tighten it up and chip away at it as I need. This is like a water pump. I'm kind of glad I got this water pump because I have an interior picture that I just did recently. There we go. There we go. that. Invert the selection. And now let's go back in. There we go. Yeah, this is super rough. It might even be too embarrassing to put up on my online portfolio. Okay. There we go. Really get a better selection here. What's the point of having these rocks that I put down here if I'm not gonna use them? So yeah, let's go around. There we go. Yikes. Undo that. Crap. What's going on here? Yeah, that's what I want. So there we go. Maybe I want to use the other lasso tool, polygonal, to get these yeah, I don't like using the polygonal. That's another one that just does not work for me. It always like kind of messes up, and I'm so deep into this selection right now. I really don't want any mistakes right now. Okay, and here around this bowl, I'll just have to have a steadier hand, you know? I could trust my hand more than I can trust these tools, so at the moment. Now, this pump comes up here, down there, this is that. this lever. Go. This is coming down here. So this is kind of open. And that's kind of open. And since this is a tighter selection, I'll go less than 25 and just hit it with a 5. And here we go. Oh wow. I wonder if colorizing this might work better. And yeah, just getting a decent blue. And yeah, just kind of doing that. Let's see. No, 25. Yeah, go 50. Go 200. Yeah, that might be the ticket right there, just to kind of really bring out the snow. There's it, like I said, everything here is just so white. Okay. And now there's that. And there's that. Kind of work on these things. Yikes. Kind of clean up these edges a bit. Kind of clean up that edge a bit. Yeah, that definitely helped. And turn this back to multiply. And also give me that color. It's on multiply. And I can kind of come in here and fix up the color in this crop a bit. Man, why was I not using markers on these in the beginning, you know? Such a coward. Such a cowardly move. It's not terrible. It's just not too great either. Alright. go. And all I did was select one of the middle tone colors of this kind of dirt. And let me find a decent green. There we go. There we go. Shrink my brush a bit so I can get some sharper points on it. Man, I was so scared. Oh, you know what I think it was? You want to know why I think that these didn't turn out as good as the other ones? I think the other ones I had finally surrendered myself to the clock, where before I was like slaving under trying to uh, do things within a time limit, and I think I just kind of said, wherever I land, that's where I'm gonna land. And I think I was, because these were done in, like I said in the beginning when I first started, and I was probably trying to get as much done as fast as I can, but I was probably looking at quality like this and was extremely unhappy. I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna spend all the time I need in order to make these things decent. So that way I'm not putting out crappy work and then just telling people, no, but my work is really good though. These are just crappy because the time limit that I set upon myself. Like, that's no excuse. So I think that's what happened here. I think these were done, you know, where I restricted myself with a time limit. And, for better or for worse, and probably for worse at this point. But considering this is where I'm at, and that's where I started, you know, you could see how this is actually kind of cool. Color, there we go. Kind of. Man, it's got to be rough giving people art critiques, but it's got to be such an honor to be in a position to be able to tell that. Because, I mean, looking at the people's work that this guy Finch is like looking over right now, it's like, you know, some of them, their textures are impressive, other ones, like, their layouts are impressive, the other ones, their shading is impressive, you know what I mean? But then you gotta sit there and be like, but you could touch up, you could fix your anatomy here, and look at this foot. How dare you draw this foot? Go. Let me just get these areas to try to. Select color range. Select all that red stuff. I got so much red in here, and it's just screaming. Oh, crap. What color? Kind of get the red out. And there we go. So that's decent. 15, -50. What if I only do like a -25? There we go. So keep a little bit of color in there. So yeah, like all that red that was in here and in there. You know, just kind of get it out of there a little bit. And let's try this polygonal lasso tool. You know, I used to love this tool. Well, I do love this tool. Let me say it straight. I love this tool, but when it doesn't work, it's, you know, this Photoshop isn't working for me at 100%. There we go. And this is supposed to be water, so I'll just try, see if a Gaussian blur will work on it. I'll keep the edge sharp because it's, you know, within a sharp edge, but yeah, 10 is way too strong. Maybe 5. 5 is cool. And use the burn tool to kind of sharpen up this edge here. Sharpen up these shadows. And I'll use the dodge tool, kind of get a nice blur line in there. Not a highlight. Maybe I even just want to do a white line. X brush. Well, that makes it look like glass. Here, let me set it to overlay at 25. There we go. A little softer. And then I can really highlight like this part so it looks like the ripples really catching, you know, really catching the water there. Set it to multiply. So we can darken this up. And this area up. There we go. Yeah, I don't think there's really much else I can really do about this. Sharpen tool. Sharpen up these edges here. You know, sharpen that up. Sharpen all this up. There we go. Sharpen up this fence. Everything on this table. kind of just sharpen some of these things up. Let me get the smudge tool. No, not the sponge tool. And kind of fix these edges so they don't look so perfectly blurred edges as they are. Yeah. I think that's all I could really do for this one, man. You know, like I said, this is super rough. So to pull this off, and with the amount of time that I had with it, like I'm kind of, I think I'm good and done skis with it. Uh, Turn that to color. There we go. Maybe overlay. But either way, that's gonna be it for this one. There we go. All right. So save this. Okay. Now I dig this guy's style. That's super dope. Now he's reviewing somebody wearing a MegaCon hat. But yeah, he's got some decent work here. Holy shit. All right, let me stop gushing because I have this zero background thing. I can't save it as a JPEG. Gotta save it as a PNG. There we go. All right. So hopefully I can work on this other one a little bit neater, a little bit better. And what's this one looking like? Okay, cool. So this I can just hit like I can close this out. Same thing. Get the image size right. I'm only gonna make this one 6 instead of 9, just because I'm gonna join it with the other one that I just worked on. Super rough. Pull the corners to the corner. You know, rinse and repeat, man. Rinse and repeat. Try to spend less time on this one. I got a few of them. I got like a dozen of them to go through, and then I still have to do the setting it up in here on the template for the portfolio for my website. So yeah, it's oh wow. Where I know when I worked on this one, I had some pretty some pretty good guidelines. So this, and this. Okay, so yeah, it's all. Oh yeah, perspective is a little off on this one, huh? This is kind of back. Unless this is way back, unless the perspective line is. Yeah, perspective is way off on this. What's going on? Did I mean, these vertical lines are pretty clean and clear. Okay. Whatever. I'll just let it ride. So yeah, here. Let's do this again. Keep the original. Always keep the original. Level. That looks good. Copy. Touch up. So just so we can see where we just came from, what we just did. Ton of work. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Draw this. And I think this was supposed to be something like a spa, like a bath or something like that, out there in the Arctic, in that snowy place. You know what? Let me just get the objects. The shadows will go with the background. So yeah, kind of get these. Remember, I threw a bunch of spikes on this roof. I'll get the flag later. Damn. See, I hate. I don't know why. My lasso tool works that way. I hate it. Okay. Go. Go. Now I'm gonna need to cut out a bit. I wonder if the lasso tool will do me any favors. I doubt it, but maybe it might be easier or more compliant than the. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it will work. Go. Go straight down. Go to the side here. Cut across to this barrel. Ah, yeah, I'm gonna want to cut you out then. go. Okay. Cut out the guts for the most part, and I will correct it where I can. And let's see, cut this out. Oh. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to shave that out too. There we go. Alright, let's just see if this works. Screw it. Um, invert the selection so it's just the background. And colorize. Alright, here we go. Bring that. No, I like that better. It's here. There we go. This looks decent. And let me grab the burn tool. I like that for the background, so now I'm just going to use the burn tool to really darken this ceiling underneath. Highlight these icicles in the foreground. There we go. So throw another layer of burn in here. Really. There we go. There you go. Just darken these things. Okay, just bring the burn down to these shaded areas. And down here in this water. There we go. There we go. Alright. Now, do I want to dodge anything? Maybe I might want to brush that stuff in and set it to multiply or normal. Kind of fix up these edges. I wasn't paying attention to my selection. It's my fault. This looks kind of good. Okay, and now give me a dark blue with the brush set to multiply, and then I can kind of shade in this area. There we go. Set it back to normal for this. What's happening? 100. No. There we go, sorry. And select color range. Get all these reds. This red pencil that's in here. What about this magenta? There we go. Maybe that's more what I need to be getting. And there we go. Just kind of give them a little more earthy tone. What's that? And double check. So yeah, changed it from red to a little more of that natural wood color that's in there. So you can see where we were at and where we're going. Same thing here. This is just all the touch-up stuff that I did. And yeah, I mean, it's always only going to be as good as the original image. What is this? Is this the dodge tool? Yeah. Let me get this snow and hit it with a little bit of the dodge. So that way the snow looks like it's, you know, nice and crispy. And, you know, these last two that I just worked on were extremely rough. I feel embarrassed to show this work off, honestly. Um, but it is what it is, man. Uh, you know, just because I don't like it, or I'm not completely satisfied with it, doesn't mean that it's something bad. The right person can see it, come across it, and say, "Yo, how you did that?" There we go. Let's get this. There we go. Do I want to burn these shadows in a little bit more? That might help. And yeah, man. Call it quits on this one. Save it. And save the JPEG of it. And close it. Same thing with this. Now this is gonna be even less so. It's the same concept as the other ones. Give me a sec. I gotta hit the bathroom. I see I'm coming up on almost. It's like 10 to 5. Uh, I guess I'll just stick it on my screen or somewhere. Will it hold? Time will tell. All right. So, so yeah, let's. Okay. Sorry about that. I got a client talking to me right now. Don't you love it when you try to? There we go. Okay. Here we go. I mean, if this guy's paying me, I might need to stop and start working on his job for him. Fortunately, this thing isn't going to take all that much. Um, oh my god, this fucking guy, man. Sorry, I'm texting this guy, and you know, some people just really, uh, you really need to speak with them. You know what I mean? Really, like they don't understand. Like you think, yeah, whatever. Thoughts upon da, 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 da. Okay, so put the corners in the corners. Did I size this already? I did. Okay, levels. There we go. All right. Just got paid for a logo. I'm doing logos. Anybody need a logo? Because I'm doing them. Okay. Enough jokes. So I guess I'll finish this one. Well, you know what? It is 5 o'clock. And how long have I been streaming? 2 hours, just over 2 hours. So maybe this is it. Maybe this is where I just call this one quits. I mean, I'm working on this one. You kind of get the idea. Um, Let me see if I pull up all the JPEGs that have my initials on the end. And yeah, don't want that one. Oh, why did this one have a number on the end too? Oh, what's that? There we go. Two. Did I get 4 of them done? That's not terrible. So ultimately, what I would end up doing is bringing them in here. I have this file as my environments, and this will be like environment stuff for this size. But so you can see like at the artboard size that I'm working at, and then the size of these things, where that's my PNG because it has like the little roof thing poking out, because a bit of good dimension. These are the two that I'm gonna fit side by side next to each other, and so yeah, I guess I got kind of like 3 of them done technically, since these two are gonna be together. But I'm gonna piece it together later on, um, whether it's on or off camera. But either way, that's how this works. This is why I do photo touch-up stuff. I don't know if this stuff is interesting or not, so for sure let me know. I know people want to see Photoshop stuff, but I don't know if they want to see like me touch up my traditional things on Photoshop and just let it be that, or if it's like create from scratch digital illustrations. In which case, I'm not really doing that. You could always hire me to do that. If you know, if I'm getting paid, I'll do it. You know, because I can. But at the moment, I'd say your money would probably be better spent if you just hire me to do something traditional, and then I could do some some touch up like this. And keep in mind, these illustrations, they're really rough because they're 3 inches by 3 inches when I worked on them. They're literally the size of this sticky note. So this is almost the actual life size of, because sticky notes are 3 by 3. So it's almost exactly life size. So, working traditionally, you could only get so much detail. I want you to also think about how, 3 by 3, that's about 9 square inches. The smallest that I work for hire for, illustrations, character portraits, anything like that. But I guess if you want me to do environments and props, I could do that as well. Just I don't, I never heard of that except for like companies that would want that. But either way, the smallest commission size that I work at is 4 by 6, which is 24 square inches, which is damn near 3 times the size of this. So, a lot of people say it's ridiculous how much detail I get in these small sticky note size things. But to me, it's like, that's what I do. Like, um, uh, and whether I'm working at 4 by 6, I prefer to work 11 by 17, comic book illustration size. And yeah, at 11 by 17, you can imagine how much detail I can get, especially if you're getting a character. I could really, bust out some really good illustrations. And those are the type of things that I'm offering. Some of the drawings and illustrations that I've done have been about 11 or 13.5 by 8.5, something along those lines. And those are like the biggest ones that I think people have seen me work on as far as like live streaming goes. I do have a commission coming up that I want to record this week, but the commission is also the way I worked it out with the client. It's only gonna, not, I shouldn't say only, but it's gonna be 6.5 by 9, I believe, which is still relatively small, but it's still a solid 30 or 40 square inches, something like that. I forget the exact number. It's written down somewhere, but we worked it out. And yeah, I'm very loose, very flexible. As far as my commissions go. So check me out on Patreon, and you can see all the commissions and what you get for your patronage. And and yeah, man, I'm always working. I just got I just got a down payment for this guy's logo, and now he wants like a bunch of shirts and stuff. I'm like, oh, let's get the logo done, and then we'll do all the shirts. So I'm always working on these things, and this stuff is for my portfolio online, so that way, I could probably get work as a concept artist. That's what I really want to do, and plus I'm building the world that I'm working on all at the same time, and that's what this is. That's how we're doing it. Let me save this file with these drops. Do you want to save and continue? Yes. Cause yeah, I'm probably about to, end the stream, shut my computer down for a second, go grab a snack, some more coffee, and then I'm gonna sit back down. And then when I come back on, I'll probably be working on the logo. I don't know if I want to stream clients' work, but they agree that I could use it for marketing and promotion. And this is, I use Twitch to market and promote myself, so I could. So we'll see. What else? Well, that's about it. But just taking, we showed the steps. I showed it all the way through. Taking a traditional photograph or a photograph of traditional work, and then just bumping it up just a bit. Doing a little bit of work goes a long way. This is how digital helps me with the hardware that I have now, but I do have the ability to work just completely in digital, completely in vector, completely in Photoshop, whatever you want to do. Just, with the Wacom problem that I'm having with the, these modifier keys, everything is just a little bit funky. This is a laptop from 2012. It's a little, it's kind of back there. It's up there. So yeah, that's why I'm rambling now. I'm G Mr. Drew, at G Mr. Drew on all social media. Follow, like, and subscribe. Any and all support is appreciated. I love you all for watching. I know I got a viewer on here somewhere, so I want to thank you for watching. You make, you make this channel work and be what it is. So I really appreciate it. gmrdrew.art is my website. Go check it up. I put it on the chat line, so you could just click that and go there. I promise I am not a robot. And yeah, man, this has been the Andrew Glowczewski Experience, episode 89. Doing some environment Photoshop editing. That's what's up, man. Love y'all.